Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tanner. I'm with Pristine Auto Spa. Today we're going to be talking about the services we completed on this beautiful 2025 Mustang GTD. So the first part of this process we did is a full, complete prep of the paint. For every vehicle, even brand new ones, it's really important that we go through, do a full wash, decontamination. This ensures that when it comes time to put the protection film on, it is in perfect condition. To discuss a little bit more about the prep process, we're gonna be going into a full wash. So your standard soap down, rinse the vehicle, wash the wheels, all of the cracks and crevices. This also is really crucial when it comes time to install paint protection film. We want to make sure if there's any dirt or contamination stuck or embedded into like these cracks, we want to pull that out and make sure that it's not going to show up in the install. After we do a complete wash, we're also going to be doing the clay bar treatment. This is where we take a piece of clay and we take it over the paint, kind of going back and forth in it really lightly, and this will pull what's typically considered iron fallout. So when the vehicle goes from the factory to the owner, there's times where it's outside and it can start to actually have particles that are in the air, embed them inside the clear coat, and they show up, especially on a white vehicle, under the paint protection film. So doing this process is really crucial to a good prep. And for any type of paint protection install, this happens. After we've fully washed and deconned the paint, we go into our polishing stage. This is where we're going to be looking for any sanding marks from the factory. Also on top of that, if there's any swirls that have been occurred from the dealer to our shop, we want to look for these in our paint correction bays, and we will go through, polish the paint, make sure the paint is looking phenomenal. Once we put the film on there, it is good to go. So we do want to make sure, this is our shot to get the paint in really good condition. After we do a polishing step, it actually goes back into our wash bays to have a full wash completed. We do this because after you polish a vehicle, it typically has polish residue on it, little dust particles. We don't want that getting into the install. And so we will go back to the wash bays, do a full wash, final dry, and from there, our paint protection film installers take over. If you have a vehicle that has satin or carbon materials on it, we highly recommend getting these areas protected. And the reason I say that is it's really difficult to fix these. A lot of times, especially with carbon, you have to completely replace it. Or with satin painted materials, you have to have the full area repainted versus touch up like you can do on gloss. So a couple things to note there. And then as we work our way back, I want to talk about some of the double layers that we added on track vehicles specifically, or high dollar vehicles. We really encourage adding a second layer to those really high impact areas on the vehicle. So like for the GTD, this bottom carbon fiber rocker panel and this impact area right here, we actually have 2 layers. And what's really nice about this is not only is it going to add additional coverage, but when they drive this vehicle on the track, and say if this gets damaged from something coming up, we can just pull this little section off and replace it, and we don't have to redo the full panel. So we do highly recommend doing that on certain applications, and if it's in the budget to do so, we definitely encourage it. Lastly, as we get to the back, like I said, this is a full body coverage, so every painted surface on this vehicle is covered with paint protection film. I do want to add a couple caveats to that. There are certain areas where paint protection film will not stick. So if it's ABS unfinished plastic or metal pieces like this that have this kind of satin or rough feel, we typically will not put paint protection film on it because it will not stick properly. So things to think about, when we say full body coverage, obviously we do our best to apply it everywhere that we can. There are some applications where it's just not feasible for the film to stick. After we completed the whole paint protection film process, it went back to our detailing bays where we did the ceramic coating on it. A lot of people ask us, why do you have to put a ceramic coating on top of paint protection film? And though it's not required or mandatory, we do recommend it. All this is going to do is it is going to keep the film looking better for even longer, especially on a white vehicle where things can embed even to the film. The coating is going to add a layer that's going to make it a lot more slick. So when it comes time to wash a vehicle like this, it's going to be way easier. And on top of that, it's going to have to be done a lot less frequent because it's going to shed a lot of the dirt naturally. One thing we want to add in is the ceramic coating on the wheels. So these are forge line wheels that the client had added after the vehicle was after they took delivery of it, and it has this kind of satin sheen and finish to it. This finish can really take on brake dust quite a bit, and it looks not great once it's on there. So we actually added a ceramic coating to the full wheel, so the barrels, the faces, the lug areas, as well as the calipers. And when it comes time to washing it, it's going to make it a lot easier. And on top of that, overall, it's just going to keep the finish of the wheel looking a lot better for longer. So something to consider if you have satin wheels, if you're tracking a vehicle as well. Definitely beneficial time saver and value add in that area. And then one last thing is we did add some graphics to this as well. You know, when we're doing a project like this, we try to add some personalization to the vehicle. And so for this specific client, they wanted to add these small graphics on the winglet that signify the impressive lap time at the Nürburgring. And it also identifies the model make signifier of the GTD. Next thing I want to talk about is the window tint. From the video, it probably looks like there's actually no film or window tint on the windows. And this is by design. The client didn't want to necessarily go darker with the window tint, but they still wanted the advantages of being protected from UV and the heat. And this is kind of a no-brainer for a lot of vehicles that, you know, they want those benefits, but they don't necessarily want to go darker. And so on this, we did Lumar's Air 80 film, which is a dual ceramic, nano-ceramic film. To keep things simple, what that means is it's going to block a lot of heat and it's going to keep you protected from UV. So if you look on the side, you can still see into the vehicle. Kind of gives it an elevated look. Has a slight blue hue to it. We did the same thing on the windshield. So they're going to be able to drive it, enjoy it, and they don't have to worry about their visibility being reduced, but they're still going to get all those benefits that people want when you're getting window tint on a vehicle. One more thing I wanted to add about the client's decision to go with a lighter grade VLT is it has a really cool component on the back end, like the rear seat area, or what would be a seat. And it has the exposed, I think it's called double wishbone suspension. So you can see all of that, that cool function and feature of this vehicle, and putting darker tint on that would have covered that up. So they wanted to be able to see it, look at it when they take it to car shows, also when it's just at their garage, and they can still be able to see it without having that objection from the darker tint. Last but not least, we added our ExoShield windshield protection to this. A lot of people are still learning that this is even a service. We try to talk and educate clients about the importance of doing this on a vehicle, especially like this. Typically, when this vehicle is being sold to the next owner, they do not want to know that the glass had to be replaced. They like OEM functionality of vehicles like this. And so adding this service protects the glass from the likelihood of it getting chipped or damaged when it's driving. I will say this is not meant for every vehicle, especially daily drivers. If you're driving it every single day, constantly using windshield wipers, this service is probably not going to be a good fit for you. However, on a vehicle like this, not driven as frequent, and on top of that, just the value of having the OEM glass far outweighs the cost of the service. So if you have a weekend warrior or a vehicle that's not daily driven and you want to keep the glass protected, I highly recommend doing this service, and it's something that pairs well with the paint protection film and ceramic coating. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to the services that we completed. If you have any questions about the vehicle, about the services, please let us know. We'd be happy to help. Thank you.